Hey, what is going on YouTube? Nappy Senshi here, and decided to do something a little bit different. So if you guys know, even though I am a PC gamer, I do like using controllers. As a matter of fact, I own a bunch of controllers, and I love having friends over to play a bunch of video games, which is reasons why I have so many different controllers. But there was one controller I saw on Amazon that kind of piqued my interest a little bit. It was a controller made by a company called PB Tails. After looking at this controller, it seems to be some type of retro controller called CHOC. And it seems like they have different colors. It seems like the range from prices from $35 to $50. I decided to purchase one of these controllers, and I kind of wanted to see what it was about. I'm not really used to these type of controllers, but I was like, you know what? Let me give this one a try. So without further ado, let me show you the controller and let's see what this CHOC controller made by PB Tails is all about. Well, here is the controller. It seems like the controller I got comes in this reflective shiny box, which is pretty interesting. If you guys want to know, I actually got the black and silver one. I don't know if all of these controllers come in these boxes, but I mean, it's kind of cool. Let's open this up and let's see what's inside. All right, plastic cover. I'm just gonna get inside there. All right, so seems like tight packaging, and wait. Whoa, and here we go. All right, so box. There's nothing else in the box. As you can see, it's just empty. So put this to the side. Looks like you get one really long USB-C type cable. So yep, for charging. USB whites usually stand for 2.0, so USB 2.0 charging. It's a charger cord, so shouldn't really matter much. And the controller itself, which, holy crap, this controller is small. Oh my god. This thing, it's actually pretty cool. Like, I mean, the sticks are kind of clicky. It looks like it has the same joysticks as a Switch, which is working. Oh snap, I turned it on by accident. Interesting. Oh, seems like every time I push the sticks, it does a feature. But yeah, I mean, D-pad feels nice. The BAXY is, well, I kind of like it. It has a little click. Like the plus minus home, or sorry, home right here. A turbo function, which who uses turbo? Yeah, but this controller is really small. Like, if you actually guys want to know a comparison of how small this controller is, this is my 8-bit Duo SN3 controller. Like, this is small, and this thing is like also not a retro controller small. If you want another example, like look at this controller. This is my Xbox Series controller, and yeah, compared to it, definitely smaller. And definitely a bunch thinner. I mean, so far as I feel, like, it doesn't really feel that bad, to be honest with you. My hands, I have like these big palms, small fingers. Don't make fun of my hands, or go ahead, I don't care. Yeah, only way I could probably test this out is definitely play some games. But yeah, this controller is a lot smaller than I thought it was. I'm definitely going to charge it up. See, also in the box, if you want to know, this looks like they have an instruction book with all the languages, safety features, and I'm pretty sure this book will teach you how to program it, how to pair it with the Switch, how to connect it through Bluetooth, as you can see. Definitely tells you all the numbers, player 1 through 8, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I kind of like this controller. So anyway, without further ado, Ooh, this is probably the only thing that's going to be bugging me about this controller is, oh, so this is L1, this is L2. So this is L1, L2, R1, R2. I'm kind of used to having the L1, L2 on top of each other, not next to each other like this. So this will be very interesting. But yeah, let me get back. Let me definitely like pair this controller up and let's play some video games, and I will get back to you and tell you the results of me playing games with this controller. Using this controller in platformers was actually a real joy. A retro controller definitely brought a retro feel when it came to playing Super Mario or even playing competitive games like Ultimate Chicken Wars against friends. Would highly recommend using this controller for platformers. So for classic and modern racing games, this controller is actually pretty decent. In Mario Kart, it was very comfortable to just hold down B just to keep going, and for modern games, the trigger wasn't that much of an issue. Now granted, these are not analog triggers, so you go from 0 to 100 real quick, or 0 or 100, but that's about all you can do. But other than that, yeah, this controller is actually really decent for racing games. As far as using this controller for fighting games, I was really shocked at the D-pad. The D-pad is actually really good. It does feel a little different from the other buttons, like a slight little spongy, but feels very natural, and the D-pad is very responsive. Would definitely recommend this controller for fighting games. Like, there's no question, this is a really good controller for fighting games. Really was enjoying myself using this controller and did not have any issues pulling off any combos. Alright, using this controller in games like Devil May Cry and Persona 5 Strikers was surprisingly comfortable. Even though the buttons are really small, I had no issues pushing individual buttons. Sometimes my fingers kinda got confused with the L, L2 and R2, but other than that, yeah, this controller was fine for action adventure games. I definitely will recommend it for action adventure games actually. Really decent controller, buttons are nice and clicky. And because they have a nice click to them, you don't accidentally push any other button. Using this controller in first person and third person shooters was definitely an experience. Because of the button layout for L1, L2, R1, R2, it caused a little bit of a learning curve. And sometimes me accidentally pushing one of the buttons or pushing a button I don't mean to push. Also with the buttons being really small, especially like in games like Warframe, it was kind of a hassle to use abilities and stuff. Hey there. I also want to mention something when it comes to me using this controller for first and third person shooters. As I was playing the game, I was having issues where I was noticed that when it comes to switching from L1 and L2 and R1 and R2, I would move my fingers back and forth. And this is kind of a little hassle and definitely a big learning curve. It was then when I transitioned to a more formal grip or a better grip for this controller, which I think PB Tales was aiming for. So you hold the controller like this, and if you want to click on L1 or R1, you would just use the middle of your finger to push down on it, and then use the tip of your fingers to push L2 and R2. I think that this is definitely was a better method for me, but I think that this is how PB Tales wants you to hold controller, and this was the idea that they had when using this controller for first and third person shooters. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this controller has a 6-axis motion gyro controls if you're into that stuff. I personally don't use it, but I think it's cool to have it. Okay, so conclusions about this controller. This CHOC controller, overall, if you're definitely into like retro games and stuff, I would definitely recommend this controller. This controller is definitely above average when it comes to build quality. This controller, I'll probably give like a 7 out of 10 for retro gaming. If you are into like first and third person shooters and that's like the biggest thing you play, I'll probably knock this down to a 6.5 out of 10. Some of my only things that probably PB Tales could improve on if they ever decide to take this concept and make improvements is I would definitely make the sticks bigger if possible, see if you can make the buttons bigger. D-pad's actually really nice, but probably make it bigger just to match up. And also, because of the first person, third person shooter concept, I will see if you could put the L2 and R2 somehow fit it underneath of L1 and R1. It doesn't have to be analog triggers, it could be button triggers, which is perfectly fine, but I think that if they were able to have them over top of each other instead of right next to each other, this controller could definitely be recommended for a more wide range of audience, especially for those who love to play first and third person shooters. Other than that, yeah, this is honestly a controller that I thought I wasn't going to like at first, but I actually like this controller a lot. It's really good build quality, and out of all the third-party controllers, like PB tells you, well done, you did a good job, and continue expanding on this, because I would love to see what else you guys can do with this product. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell to let you guys know when the next time I put videos. And also in the comment section below, let me know what type of controller do you use and what is your favorite controller? Do you have a favorite third-party controller? I would love to know. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Peace.